From far and wide, Oilers fans, this is Dolynny TV. And welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel. I'm Tyson Dolynny, your host of Dolynny TV and all things Edmonton Oilers on the channel as we get rolling into a game preview against the Philadelphia Flyers. Now this is going to be an intriguing game for the Oilers just based on the fact of Philadelphia continues to have the season the Oilers were having earlier on before Ken Hitchcock took over as head coach. That's as simple as it becomes, right? Philadelphia, I know a Philly fan. I talked to a Philly fan on the daily, actually. He was actually just at the Flames Philadelphia game that we'll get to in a second here. But either which way, my point being, I talk to this guy every single day at work, and he's been calling for the firing of their head coach since before I was calling for the firing of Todd McLellan. Well, now here we be with the Oilers having fired their coach, Dave Haxtell, still in the, limelight for the Philadelphia Flyers as it stands. So that's good news for them. But, it is just tough to be a Flyers fan. And I hope tonight the Oilers make it even tougher like they did against Colorado and like they did against Minnesota. So, guys, without further ado, I've talked long enough. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Dolynny TV. I'm going to try and watch tonight's game. Try and not live stream. Probably won't be able to live stream, but try and live Twitter feed it. As you guys know, I do so often. So Oilers Flyers preview. What do I got for you? Well, the Flyers. Let's start with the enemies before we start with our own embarrassment, should we? The Flyers are coming off embarrassment of that Flames game. I mean, the Flames come roaring back. Sean Monahan, 7-8 seconds left in the game. Ties it, sends it to overtime after they had just scored to make it a one-goal game with a minute 08 or something. In the third period, the Philadelphia Flyers just collapsed in on themselves, and Flames took advantage, and we all know, as Oilers fans, we know what the Flames can do late in hockey games. We've seen it once this season on November 17th. So you got to believe the Flyers should have known that was coming. They didn't see it. They lost in overtime. Well, you know what? That's good news for us. So Philly's on a slide. That means we should be able to take a victory against them and pump them around a little bit and show them who's boss. Connor McDavid, kind of the best guy to do that to any losing team in the NHL. Here's the problem. The Oilers are coming off their own OT loss against the Winnipeg Jets, in which they coughed a 4-3 lead to lose 5-4 in overtime. Does that not sound good, Oilers fans? That sounds very, very terrible. Didn't watch last night's game. Heard a little bit about it. Things look really positive. Unfortunately, the Oilers just couldn't finish last night. And I mean, that's to be expected, right? Last night, who were we missing? We were missing Russell, number one shot blocker. Okay, Jets get 5 goals. Chris Russell blocks a lot of shots. I don't know. Do you try and argue the point that Chris Russell maybe would have blocked 1 or 2 of those goals and suddenly it's a 4-2 victory? I don't know. I don't know what you try and argue. I didn't watch the game like I said. Unfortunately, I've been trying to mend myself from that illness I had the other day. So, you know what? I'm going to hold opinion. You guys argue about that in the comments. You guys fill me in. Let me know what you think. But I'm trying to preview a game I'm trying to watch tonight. And so Koskinen starts for the Oilers this evening. That's going to be a big key. I think from what I took away from last night's game, Talbot was all right, not great, and that cost us. So Koskinen, of course, he had that game against Colorado. Not great, but all right, got us the win. He needs to be regular old Koskinen, 2.19 GAA Koskinen, and we should have no problem against the Philadelphia Flyers this evening. If Koskinen gets to form, does his job, and just gives the boys confidence like he always does, right? That's the thing we got to sit here and think about. Man, Mikko Koskinen gives the Oilers so much confidence when he's in net. It is unreal to see how much better defensively, how much better offensively the Oilers play with Mikko Koskinen in net. There is no arguing that Mikko Koskinen is not the more confidence-giving goaltender than Cam Talbot. At this point anyway, like I argued, Cam Talbot might be getting back to form. That's not a bad thing for the Oilers. But right now, as a defenseman or as a forward, the Oilers love to play in front of Koskinen more, it seems, than Talbot. And like I said, that's fair just based on Koskinen's performance. Okay, that's kind of gross. So I'm going to floaty at the bottom of my drink. Let's move on. Connor McDavid. Where do we sit? Connor McDavid sits at the second fastest Oiler to ever reach 300 points. Okay, you want to talk about Connor McDavid being great. He's in a class of his own. Problem is, the class ahead of him is Wayne Gretzky. So you got a tough schlag to go there, Connor McDavid. But the more important thing right now, let's go review Connor McDavid's stats for his career. 240 games played. I said in a video previously, I said it would be around the 240 game mark that Connor McDavid would be able to get his 300th point. So 240 games, 197 assists, and 104 goals is what gets Connor McDavid .301. That's fantastic. And you got to think he's got 9 points in 13 playoff games as well. So the guy's good. The guy's all right. So Connor McDavid, what is the pace you are asking me for this season? Connor McDavid this season set to average 117 to 118 points. That is a Connor McDavid pace for sure. That gets the Oilers going where they need to. However, the thing is, yes, like I said, you got to have depth scoring. The second line's going to do their thing. It's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' line. He's going to contribute no matter what. It's the matter of the identity line and the fourth line, Spooner and the boys, right? So you got to hope that they come around. They have been coming around, so things are looking positive on that front. And I hope so much that continues once again tonight against the Flyers. I'm hoping tonight's the night Lucic pots a goal. Like I argued yesterday, he is the most overpaid third-line stud in the NHL. You know what? It sounds bad when I say most overpaid, but what I mean truly is he is a third-line stud. Yes, technically, he should be an elite second winger on the Oilers team. He's just not there. He's accepted a new role, and he is excelling at it. Puck presence, body presence, you guys heard the arguments. You can check out the video. The card is on this video for you guys to do that. So Connor McDavid, like I said, congratulations on .300 in game 240. Feels good to get ranting about an Oilers game preview, boys, and let's go get to the next big stat line, check, hit, whatever you want to talk about for the Oilers in this Philadelphia Flyers game tonight at 7 o'clock. Caleb Jones debuts. Oh, buddy, that sounds good. Caleb Jones finally makes his debut. He'll slot alongside Kevin Gravel. And honestly, you know what? I'm kind of got this weird aspect on Caleb Jones. You guys might know, some of you might know that I've done NHL, the video game, as my main content when it comes to NHL discussion, Oilers discussion, over the past 4 or 5 years. Well, guess what? Caleb Jones was in the Oilers system when I was playing NHL 17 and doing my franchise mode on YouTube. You can check it out. He came up to my big team, right, the Oilers, in I think years 3 or 4, and he came out of nowhere. He grew pretty good that year in the game, and he came in and just put up crazy amount of points. I think it was like something like 27 points in 41 games. Single-handedly lifted us to the playoffs, and by year 5, he was an 87 overall as a top 6 defenseman medium potential. I absolutely loved the kid. I was over the moon about the kid. So that's my bias to Caleb Jones' video game bias. However, since that year, Caleb Jones has gone on and showed that he is an excellent hockey player in real life. And this season in Bakersfield, that has been no exception, and now he gets his shot. What I love today is about Ken Hitchcock saying he's going to be a player here, might as well get his career started. That's an actual quote, I believe, in part from Ken Hitchcock. Well, guess what? Might as well get his career started. If he can even start his career half as good as he did in my NHL franchise mode, man, Oilers fans, you are going to be drooling over this kid, let me tell you. He looks good in Bakersfield. Matt Moswich said he should be down there the whole year. Well, guess what? Now we get to see him in the NHL, and I think he's going to be very, very motivated to stay in the NHL as long as he possibly can. Because here's the thing. Under Todd McLellan, it would have been whatever. He now gets to learn from the third most winningest coach in NHL history. That is as simple as a bulletin as I can put it. Caleb Jones, an elite defender in his own right, growing up, now gets to come under one of the best defensive coaches of all time. How can you not argue as a, 20, 21-year-old, you would not want to grow up in that situation? Could you imagine Evan Bouchard? Would he have been given the chance to have Ken Hitchcock for his first 9 games? It would be unbelievable. So this is exactly what I can't wait to see. Caleb Jones under Ken Hitchcock, with the chance of offensive flair that he has in his game, it may just be what the Oilers need to replace Oscar Klefbom for the time being. Yes, I am in favor of sending Caleb Jones back down. I'm not going to argue with you. 100% I won't. So the other defensive pairing that we have to talk about is Jason Garrison drawing in the lineup after a little while, and Matt Benning. So, it's shoddy pieces of a defense at this point. We've got a kid who hasn't played much, Jason Garrison, who came in on a PTO, Matt Benning, and Kevin Gravel, who was pretty much signed as NHL depth but started the year in the AHL. So, you know what? The bottom 4 for the Oilers, finally you can call them the actual bottom 4. That's very strange to say those 2 names, Gravel and Garrison, as the bottom 4 defensemen. But that's reality for the Oilers right now with Russell, Sekera, and Klefbom out. We'll see exactly what happens with the Oilers in this game. I think, like I said, as long as the Oilers lock down and have good goaltending, they'll have confidence defensively, and they'll be able to play offensive hockey. I expect about a 5-2 victory for the Oilers tonight. Connor McDavid, probably another 2-3 points. Guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I have ranted on long enough. It's time to have your say in the comments section down below. Let me know what you guys think. I am up on out of here.